Californie, et ce soir, je
And my
suis
beautiful sister.
avec LGBT sur LGBT TV Radio.
Unlimited TV radio. Redefining broadcasting. Listen. You are listening.
Time don't reach, oh. Time don't reach.
Unlimited TV radio. We dare to lead. This is radio like you never heard before. Unlimited TV radio.
Why you stressing me?
Radio.
Are we good? Let's go. All right, good morning and welcome to the Sports Buffet on Elegbete TV Radio. My name is Daffy Matthias. I'm going to love to come in Elegbete One Sports. It's a lovely day to be alive. I always see it as a great gift, privilege, and opportunity when you go to sleep, and in between, okay, so you go to sleep, you're conscious, and then you lose that consciousness. You don't know what's happening around you, and just pause for a minute and think about this, right? There are mosquitoes, there are ants, there are insects, things that could just crawl straight into your ear or your nose and your mouth. Sometimes you open it, but all of that things don't happen. And everybody wants to pretend like they live in Banana Island, their houses well, disinfected and all that. Now, lie. That's where you have to come back and agree that there is a God who watches over us, and that's where that scripture that says that he that keepeth his rain neither sleep nor slumber really makes a meaning. Because sometimes as a parent, like, okay, so lately we've been having like, oh, my wife is not around for a very long period of time, my mom is sick, she goes see her mom, and then I'm here with the kids. Do you know that every time that happens, I don't sleep at night? I'm always awake trying to check on my son. I have an 11-year-old son, a daughter who will be nine years this month, and a son who will be 4 years next month, in July, sorry. And every time I'm like, okay, let me see what's happening here, what's going on there, all of those things you're trying to check. And it could be very tiring. Plus the fact that you have to wake up like 5 a.m. because you have to prepare them for school, it's school days. And if they're not going to school, like weekend, you have to, deal with all the running around and check them so that they don't fall, they don't get injured. But life goes on. For us adults, who checks over us? It has to be God, right? And that's very, very important, that when you wake up and then you are healthy, you should be very, very grateful for it, because there are people who went to sleep with you and then wake up. Okay, so be grateful for the life that you've got, but beyond being grateful for the life that you've got, learn how to use the life very well. It's a gift given to you. Imagine if you give somebody a gift and the person just threw the gift, like, garbage the gift. Is there any such word? Or, I don't know, you give somebody a gift and it turns out that the person is not even using the gift very well. I remember a friend of mine once gave somebody some gift and something, and kept saying that the person is abusing it. I was like, well, if you've given someone, I don't know. I don't go back to look at what I give to you, whether you're abusing or you're not abusing. But it's like, oh, it's abusing this thing that I give. I would have given it to somebody else. I don't bother about that anyway, but there are people like that. So it's the same thing with your life. When you've got that life, you've got to use it very well. Well, let's go back to the sporting space and talk about football. Everything. Congratulations to Peter Bassi for winning the for setting the new Guinness record for the longest time cooking straight, non-stop cooking. Congratulations to her. And somebody sent me a message, and Jesus Christ, people they talk. That thing that you're saying, it's happened again. We're entering record for cooking. We're not entering record for. Well, I'm not part of that. I think that when people do things, we should celebrate them. And I think that what she did was fantastic. Getting into the Guinness Book of Record is not easy. I remember some years ago when I was still in Brilla, one day, I floated the idea, but it was looked at as me trying to be selfish, trying to put myself in front. And I remember floating the idea in one of our programs meeting. I said, let's do a football analysis marathon where we we check the record for people that have stayed on air non-stop, the same show, how long it has been, and then we do it. My plan that time was for us to stay on air on analysis, presenting an analysis, me, Tony, and whoever joins us for like 3 days non-stop. I mean, but it was looked at like, oh, I was fanning my own flag. I was trying to push myself up there. And we forgot about it. And then pretty soon after that, I think it was this lady that won the dance marathon. Kafi, is it Kafi? Yeah, Kafi. Kafi won the dance marathon at the Silverbird Galleria. And then, we've seen other people. Blessing Akagbari is on that Guinness Book of Record as well. And then now we have Hilda Basi. Congratulations to her and to everybody, who pushed, supported her. God bless you all. Congratulations also is in order for the fans, players, coaches, and management of FC Barcelona. It's not easy. If you're an Arsenal fan, you would understand that it is not easy, And unless my memory is failing me, I think Barcelona have won the league title without a penalty this season. And they considered only 9 goals before yesterday, and then they considered only 11 goals on their way to winning the league title. But then again, when I looked at what the fans of Espanyol did, and people who are quick to highlight, oh, Nigeria insecurity, lack of safety. If that thing that Espanyol fans did, let's say Enyimba goes to Kano Pillars Grand to win, or Heartland Grand, or Rangers Grand to win, and that happened, that's what everybody would pounce on. Oh, Nigeria, that's why we don't go to watch Nigerian League, blah, 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 blah. The truth of the matter is, we just don't want to watch Nigerian League. We just don't want to support Nigerian League. Yesterday, I took a time to say, okay, let me watch, because I was, the Nigerian League was postponed and there was no game to watch or to go produce, and I was bored. Even the Arsenal game was on, and I consume less of European games now. And when I do consume European games, I don't consume them because I want to watch football. Maybe because, okay, I could be answering questions on my radio show, but mostly because I want to see camera angles. I want to see innovations. Like what I saw from the Arsenal game yesterday, there was somewhere, I think in the 78th or 83rd minute, where the fans were going at, and then the drone shot go off the field. The drone shot go off the field. I was showing outside as the fans were going at. I think it was nice. It was an education for me, and who's not a producer, who's not producer of league matches, right? So I watch games for those purposes. But I was saying to myself, if this thing that Espanyol fans did, if it happened in Nigeria, it would be a different conversation. And on Twitter, we're talking about Nigerian football, and somebody was like, oh, the reason people don't go to stadium to go watch match is because of insecurity. And I said, wait, let's pause. We always talk about this insecurity. Have you realized that since the insurgency started in Nigeria, since all these Boko Haram, whatever, IPOB, and the rest of them, no football match have been disrupted by this terrorist group or whatever, freedom fighting group or whatever, even in the days of MED, you understand, movement of the empowerment of Niger Delta, or whatever they call themselves. I'm just saying that the excuse that insecurity is the reason why people don't go to the stadium is it's really not true as we want to put it, but people just hide behind that and want to use it as a common flag. Having said that, congratulations to Xavi. I mean, a lot of people didn't expect him to steady the ship, because nobody's taking over a team in such a mess like the team he took over from. Pep Guardiola took over a team that was good. It just needed refreshment. Tito Villanova took over a team that was good. Tata Martino took over a team that was good. Luis Enrique took over a team that was reborn and was ready, had the best strike force any coach could ever depend on, the MSN. And for Xavi, it was a team that was in disarray at the end of an era, depth profile that has never been seen before in football history, a club that is in crisis. Messi was leaving, everything was terrible. To be able to steady that ship, even though they struggled in the Champions League and the Europa, which is normal, considering what they were going through, but they held their own against a Real Madrid side that is not that bad, that had a very good crack squad as well, and they were able to, push the boundaries and get the kind of result. Congratulations. So I think it's a title that is well deserved. If you're a Barcelona fan, compare this title win to the other titles that you guys have won. I know that Barcelona are used to winning doubles, used to winning trebles, used to winning 4, 5, 6 titles in a season. But I think that I would love to see Barcelona fan help me rate this title win and tell me where it stands in their own ranking, your personal ranking of loads of Barcelona titles that they've won before. Which one of them? And there's somebody that I would love to give shout out to. Okay, today because eventually we now have a date of our release of our film in Hong Kong. It's been on for a while. It was Footballers Connect that brought me and Alex Akonde together for the very first time. And after my presentation, then I didn't know Alex from anywhere before. I've never met him. I've never heard about him. But after my presentation about footballers, insurance companies, liaising with football clubs, both at grassroots and in the league, creating some stuff, some sort of leverage where the insurance company will make money, but the footballers also will be protected and all that. I think that it resonated with Alex, and then he tweeted my number. We got talking, and one thing leading to the other, we agreed to be partners in business, and then from there, we became friends to the point where we decided, hey, Pastor Biodu Olopade, how you doing? Are you still in the UK? Are you still dealing with the cold weather there? So, and he said to me, let's do a film. I suggested it in the beginning, and he was like, no, bros, I don't know anything about film. I'm just a football player. I don't know how that works. And we kept talking about it, and I was running him through it. And today we have a film called Clover that will be coming out. It's a film and a series. It's 2 in 1 that we put together because we have a lot of hours of recording that they were advised to do a film for cinemas in Hong Kong and series for maybe Netflix, Amazon Prime, Hulu, whatever platform that would be willing to take it on. And we were excited about it. And it's been on. That project has been on for over 6 years. Yeah, we've been pushing it for over six years, and we'll be pushing it gradually. September this year definitely will come to fruition. We've done all the shooting, just one more scene remaining to shoot, and then we'll go into post-production and then see what comes out of it. But thanks to Footballers Connect for making that possible. If not for them, that wouldn't have happened. So I want to say very massive shout out to them. You can follow Footballers Connect on Instagram and just slide in their DM and tell them thank you on my behalf and on the behalf of Alex Akonde as well, because of them, because of the platform they created. I don't know if they still do it, but the platform they created, it was at Yaba left that time that we met, and since that time to now, that special moment I've created a whole lot. Thank you very much, Footballers Connect, for making that happen. We really connected, because that's the essence of networking and meeting on such forum and such platform to connect and create better things, and that has happened. Okay, I want us to see today. I'm going to take time to do shout out to a lot of people. Shout out to all my students at the COVID. They've passed out course 2, so they'll break now, coming up for the final lab that will take them from now to September, where they will graduate and will have the opportunity to work. I'm already looking at employing 1 or 2 of them in this organization. Let's hope that they come out tops at the end of the day. Having said that, special shout out to all of you also who support the Elevated TV and radio brand. It's not been easy, sometimes I ask myself, are we really consistent? With running away to go do the league, running away to do Nigerian football. And somebody sent me a very long epistle, very long note that I'll summarize. And they said, why do I leave the studio, the show, and then just run off and go and do the league? So let me explain that. So this online thing is different from your regular everyday radio, right? What we do is more like a podcast radio than a regular radio, okay, AM or FM radio. Now, this is a pretty much expensive venture. Make no mistake about it. And you cannot, this is Nigeria. This is not like US, where government will give you money to start up as a startup, or probably friends will come around and do a GoFundMe for you. You would have to survive. You would have to survive on your own. In Nigeria, in Africa, you are only successful. You only get people rally around you when you are not successful. Like in Dangote, for instance, Tedela, Tony Lumelu, but you have to be successful first. At the beginning, it is your cross to carry from Owerri to Calvary. It's your responsibility. So when you see me run off to go do production and all that, it is me going out there to go earn the money that will keep this office running. Oh, for what Connect is here. I didn't even know it was here. Okay. Hey, bro, thank you very much. I say thanks to you actually for honoring us when we reached that year. We are happy you were able to network with Alex and create something wonderful. God bless your effort. Thank you very much. Wow, I didn't know it was here. I just wanted to put that out. Thank you very much. Imagine I was shitting on you. And thank you very much. Thank you for what you did. Right. And having said that, so I needed to go out there, go earn the money that would pay my staff, that would pay subscription for internet, that would pay for light bills, that would pay for rent. As at this time last year, I was owing 7.5 million rent and bills and all that. And running around, that thing that Julian that you wrote, I say I'm not taking my work serious. I'm running around. But running around, I helping to pay off the bill of 7.5 million plus the extras and the rest of them. So don't really see it as me running around. See it as me grinding. Companies have different stages. Bootstrapping is when you don't have money and you're starting from ground zero. Then there are people who have trust fund, who have money, who have access to loan. I don't have that. So I'm bootstrapping, and you would obviously go search that up on the internet, on Google. Go Google it, what bootstrapping is. I'm bootstrapping. I'm working by my shoelace to make sure I get this company going. So I'm not going to have faith and refuse to go out and work. I have faith that this thing is going to be great. This is going to turn out to be a game changer. It's already been a game changer in the industry. I mean, we're still at the beginning stage, at the struggling stage. We have 2 films on its way. We have podcasts. We're producing. I mean, who would have thought that in 2017 when we started, or 2018 when we officially started, we will be producing Nigerian League by now and be producing the best content at the Nigerian League, and also be influencing the industry so much so that almost everybody is not doing exactly what we are doing. And it's crazy, right? So I don't think that I ran away from the show. What I did was go out there to go get water to soften the ground so that we can plant very well. I'm sorry if you feel that way, but let's be very honest. If I sit in this studio every day without going out there to go fish, go get water, to water the dry ground, we will end up in a dry and weary land where there's no water, and sometimes God might not just be there to bless us. So we have to hear what God is saying. Go out there and go and launch into the deep or throw the net again one more time, and so that you can catch a net breaker. So that's what happened. I am sorry. I understand when you program your mind to always be on the show for 9 a.m. to 10, and then if it's not here to talk to you, I understand. But this is reality, and in real life, things change. You have to be dynamic enough. You have to be flexible enough. That's why Bruce Lee says we should be water. Okay, be water. Take the shape of a glass, take the shape of a river, take the shape of a bucket, take the shape of a drum. But just make sure you are able, because when it comes down to feeding your families, paying your bills, and paying your staff, it's on you. If it comes down to entertaining people, everybody wants to get entertained. And then there is also the mail from Yomi. Yomi was like, okay, let me read that one. It was a short message, but hello, Idafe. Would there ever come a day where we would hear your voice again on Umbrella FM, even if it means a sponsor paying for you to just go do an hour show on Umbrella FM? I really miss you not being on Umbrella FM, and I would love to have you back. You know what? I love my secondary school, and I love my primary school, especially my primary school. My school, I've got the best experiences there. But if I come here now and announce that I'm going back to primary school, would you guys not look at me like I'm mad? I had my time in Uniport. It was great. It was a great experience. I went to Uniport, like as a worry boy. My primary intention of going to university was to go join cult. I keep saying this thing, was to go join cult, and then football happened. That's why I love football a lot. And I wanted to join cult. I wanted to be a Bodu. I grew up in Warri, and everybody got oppressed. So like if I join cult, I'll be number one, I'll be Capone, and then if I come back to town, nobody can bully or oppress me. Okay, but then football happened. Now, but if I come here and announce, I'm going back to Uniport to go and do another BSc, some of you will look at me like, you said I'm a normal, right? So that's what it is. The Brilla phase is my yesterday. I spent 13 years. That's a long time in a man's life. I spent 13 years and 3 days in Brilla. I think that everybody who like me or love me or wish me well should let go Don't be Lot's wife. You will turn to salt. Because listen, the word is never. It's never going to happen. It's never, ever, ever going to happen. And it's not about me. You know, some people say it's pride. My question I like to ask those people say I'm proud, I'm arrogant is, can you remember anybody who left that organization and never came back, or whoever came back to come do anything, even if it is just temporary, like okay, World Cup or Nations Cup? So don't make it about me, because when you guys do that, you're just putting me in a spot where I don't belong. But that is just the nature of the way things work. Okay, so let's move on and wish me well on how to see this establishment grow as big and bigger than where I used to be. And then, you know, also look at the fact that I'm making greater impact. Okay, I'm creating content for the Nigerian League, and you would want to see the Nigerian League that big. I'm one of the first few people, Nigerians, who said, you know what, I'm going to sink my life into making sure that the league is a lot more popular than it already is. I think that that's the one you should support. You should push that one rather than asking me to take a million steps backward after making progress. Okay, I don't think it's the best thing. I mean, wherever you are, if you watch this now or you're going to watch it later, it's just something that we should all accept and move on. Okay. Having said that, let's talk about some of the things that went on over the weekend. I think that Barcelona winning 4-2 at Espanyol was good, but I think this is my opinion. Congratulations to Barcelona. But my opinion is that the way the Espanyol fans, you know, run them out of the pitch where they were celebrating their victory is unsportsman as possible. But you know, the funny thing is, in the typical European media way, everybody is silent about it. Everybody just, you know, just give it like a how do I put it now? A sidebar, small corner story, and then just move on from it. Unlike if it had happened in Nigeria, it would be terrible, you know, disgusting. Nigerian football fans are terrible. They are this, they are that. That's the kind of thing that we'll hear. I'm just giving you this so that you understand how the media work. And sometimes don't be the ones who is always putting the negative of your own country out there in public. Again, somebody sent me a message. My friend Alan said, is it really true that there is voodoo in football? And the reason why, the basis upon which he was asking that question is Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba has not played football since forever. And you remember when they talk about him going to a voodoo witch doctor to go and ex Kylian Mbappe, because Mbappe was going to become the poster boy of French football when he had programmed his mind to be the real poster boy of French football, and he wanted the attention on him. And since then, things have not really gone the way you expect it to go for a player in the mold of Paul Pogba. It's been one injury, one disappointment, or the other since he went back to Juventus. It's now becoming a failed move, like terrible move by Juventus on him. And you know, I hear this morning that they're considering a situation whereby they will terminate his contract and tell him, okay, we'll pay you a certain part of your money, but just go. You're not part of the team again. But that conversation is still hanging in there. But hey, it is what it is. And then Arsenal finally dropped the bar. For me, I don't think they dropped the bar yesterday. I think that Arsenal have lost the title since, even when they were on top. I kept saying, I don't think Arsenal is going to win the title. But people like Akpos Baba will not let me hear what they were trying to force me to say otherwise. Well, we finally saw that Arsenal don't have it. And it happened from the moment that William Saliba got injured. You just saw that the underbelly of this team is up, not down. And they couldn't hold the fort. In the words of Chinua Achebe, things fall apart and the centers cannot hold. Okay? Ikemefuna and Ebubedike, all of it, they couldn't hold it anymore. And Arsenal has lost it. But for analytics' sake, for the sake of analysis and the rest of them, Arsenal have had an incredible season, over 240 days on top of the league, but they didn't end up winning it. That's the most important thing. But when you get past that, when you get past the banter, the whole elephant falling off the tree, how we don't know how they got to the top, but when before we hear it, all that bantering which is allowed, you go back to Arsenal season from where they're coming from. The last 7 seasons, they've not made it to the top 4. At the beginning of the season, if you give any Arsenal fan and say at the end of the season, Arsenal will end up in fourth position, every Arsenal fan, if you're an Arsenal fan there, you will grab it with both hands, especially how last season ended. But then again, things now went too good to be true. And fans being fans don't analyze football. They just get excited. They just get orgasm, and they just get in that mood like, this sex is endless. It's never going to stop. And, they were high on something. They were high on Tony Montana's cocaine. But unfortunately, they said the thing about being high is somewhere along the line, you will still not become the most high because there is God. And Arsenal's highness for their fans and the rest, hit them hard with reality checks. And people said it's the two-header, Man City beating them home and away. There was no way this Arsenal team was going to beat Man City. And for football's sake, for a football purist, you would understand what I'm saying. Arsenal plays exactly what Man City played. And one of the problems with Arsenal is the fact that they don't know how to change their game to suit the opposition that they are playing. Arsenal will come out against anybody, and not against the City side. You play against City. If you notice, there are some teams that have given City problem this season are teams that played the low block. But it wasn't just about City. It was like Leicester in 2016. They knew that they cannot beat Arsenal, right? Arsenal beat them home and away, but they ended up winning the title because in other games they took the points that they needed to take, and that's exactly the situation with Arsenal. Arsenal didn't lose the title, and this is not the first time this is happening. Under Arsene Wenger, that happened like over 4 or 5 different times, where Arsenal will be in the title chase, and then in the run into the end of the season, there is these 4 or 6 games where Arsenal just melts. And the season Eduardo got injured, it was the game against Birmingham. 4-4 against Newcastle, if I'm not mistaken. No, that 4-4 against Newcastle is another season. The game against Birmingham, the game against Wigan, the game against West Bromwich Albion, and one other thing that made Arsenal not to win the title. Eventually, Manchester United won that league title by 4 points. All they needed to win was to win against Birmingham and probably 2 other teams. And Middlesbrough was the other team, the 4th team. And, we've seen that happen over and over and over again. And Arsenal have not really learned from that. Again, Arsenal have always built a team with a first 11 and a shabby second 11. Unlike a Man City team that their second or third 11 even can walk straight into the starting 11 of almost all the teams in the Premier League. Arsenal need that. In today's football, you need that. And again, people always make the mistake of saying there's something people say that it's not true. Say in 1992, Manchester United won the title with boys. Not a lie. It's a very big lie. That's not true. That team had Peter Schumacher. Peter Schumacher cannot be said to be boys, because he was already old. He was a senior goalkeeper. He was 29 when he won the first league title. It wasn't a boy, right? And in that team, you have Dennis Irwin, Gary Pallister, and Steve Bruce. And then you have Roy Keane, and then you have Eric Cantona. So you can't say that team was a team of boys. It's just never been a team of boys. And then again, if you look at this Arsenal team, it's not really 100% boys, but there is not a spine. Let me borrow the words of Austin Iguavona. There's not a spine that cuts from goalkeeper to attack that defines stability, that is built on steel, hard metal steel that can, that is also flexible enough, like the Eiffel Tower or the Statue of Liberty or probably the Burj Khalifa, that can withstand storms and winds and all that. This thing crumbled because at some point, their anchor got broken, which is William Saliba. And then, that defensive mainstay, that's the guy who helped the team to stay solid at the back and organize them, wasn't there anymore. And we now got to understand that Thomas Partey is not really as solid. Those people who said Thomas Partey will compete with Victor Osimhen for the African Footballer of the Year, I told you guys from the one that the man that will compete with Victor Osimhen for the African Footballer of the Year is actually Riyad Mahrez. Even though he's not played great season, he's not had a great season, but the voting is sentimental, and that sentimental voting would affect Victor Osimhen eventually if Man City goes on to win the treble. Let's also say massive congratulations to Chelsea's women team for winning 3rd straight women FA Cup in England, and it seems like they will win the Women's Super League in England. Sad that they didn't, make it to the finals of the UEFA Champions League for women, but nice. And I think that the team of the season would have to be the Manchester United women's team. Until 5 years ago, they didn't have a female team. All of a sudden, they have a women's team now, and they might likely win the league. If Arsenal beat Chelsea, for instance, because Arsenal is fighting for the 3rd UEFA Champions League spot, if Arsenal beat Chelsea, there are 2 more games to go. If Arsenal beat Chelsea, but that's calculator anyway, and I don't do calculator, but hypothetically, if Arsenal beat Chelsea, Arsenal would stop Chelsea from winning the title and Manchester United win the title. But Chelsea want to win the double to put a damp on the bad performance of the main team and see what they can get out of that. But Arsenal wants to play in Champions League, so it's a winner take all, it's a do or die, a game that would happen. Well, we'll see how that will happen. Vincent Company, another new kid on the block, who's one of the proteges of Pep Guardiola. I think the only Pep Guardiola protege that don't won a league title now would have to be Mikel Arteta, but he's won the FA Cup. So every offspring of Pep Guardiola seems to be winning something. But Vincent Company won with Burnley, and it's giving them promotion. So next season, I'm sure Pep Guardiola will be competing against Eric Ten Hag, Mikel Arteta, Burnley's manager Vincent Kompany, his former captain, and who knows who else will be thrown into the ring for the competition, which has been announced that by Fabrizio Romano that Chelsea have concluded an agreement with Mauricio Pochettino. Mauricio Pochettino have also said Messi Man should not be sold. Lukaku should be given a chance to come back and get a look in. Well, that team does need a striker, and if Lukaku is the guy, then so be it. Well, for you guys who are Chelsea fans, would you take Lukaku back and keep him in the team? Would you take him back? That's one thing to look at. Crystal Palace have also shown that they can be a solid team. Aston Villa with Unai Emery is knocking on the doors of Europa. I love how they beat Tottenham Hotspur 2-1. You know that every Tottenham defeat is sweet for me. Tottenham Hotspur went from wanting to be in the top four and now struggling to be in the Europa. Who's going to be their coach next season? Probably that's the reason why they've not been able to announce a new coach, because the coach will be wondering what competition are we playing next season. Are we going to be playing the league? Are we going to have Hurricane if we don't make it into Europe or the Europa? If Champions League is out of it. If we don't make it into Europa, are we still going to have Hurricane? Who are they going to have? In my head, I'm saying let Hurricane go and then start the project afresh again. Let Hurricane go, if possible, let Son go as well, and then start the project afresh again, because these guys sometimes have a way of stifling. Like I remember 2 seasons ago, I said that Leicester should let Vardy go and then start the project afresh again. But people said I was stupid at the time when I said it. But you see them now, seems like tonight, if they lose, they most likely are going to go on relegation. If they beat Liverpool, then they will sink Everton into relegation. Now, talking about Everton, next season is supposed to be their last season at Goodison Park. They are planning to build a new stadium and move. But it does look like they're not going to have that last season in the Premier League unless something happened. It was 2 goals for Taiwo Awoniyi against Chelsea, 2 similar goals, sleeping in defense, just the same way Arsenal defense was sleeping, and that happens. Congratulations to him. He's been on the double twice now, and it's found a way to score against big side. Scored against Liverpool, his former team. Scored against Chelsea. Very good one. And I hope that it continues to run next season. I predicted that they're not going to go on relegation. They still need one more win. They need one more win. If they had won against Chelsea, would be all but certain that they will not be relegated. They still need one more win from the next 2 games. Next 2 games are very tough games. I think they're going to play against Arsenal on Saturday. I wish they beat Arsenal. Yes, they beat Arsenal and then they don't relegate. That will be fine for me. Arsenal fans get angry or you don't get angry. Arsenal don't have anything to play for anymore. So they should allow people who have something to play for to win. Okay, that's the way I see it. Well, let's look at the transfer speculations that are going on. The window is getting closer and closer every day, and see what they are saying over there. Manchester United are back in the hunt for the midfielder Adrien Rabiot. Okay, as the 28-year-old Frenchman approaches the end of his contract with Juventus, and Juventus doesn't seem like they want to renew, because there's a clause on his contract that means that Juventus will add up about 45% more to what he currently earns, and Juventus are trying to, cut down on their spending so that they can bring in fresh reinforcement and good players, in the team. And they're also hoping to negotiate with Pogba to terminate his contract and see. I don't know where that one goes anyway, but let's see. Former aggressive manager Mino Raiola is no longer alive, so things will be different, but let's see how that one goes. Real Madrid remain interested in signing French striker Kylian Mbappe from Paris Saint-Germain, but will not pay a transfer fee for the 24-year-old, meaning that they're not going to get him this season. That's just what it means. It also means that they have to wait. Okay, that also means that Real Madrid, depending on Karim Benzema, I think that Karim Benzema is beginning to go a little bit weak. Mauricio Pochettino is set to sign a 3-year deal to become Chelsea's new head coach. When I saw that 3-year thing, I was laughing. I was laughing. You gave Graham Potter a long contract. Give almost all the players you signed long contract. And then the man you're bringing in for the rescue mission, you're giving him a 3-year contract. I thought a 5-year contract would have been good. If you're with me on that one, share your thoughts on the comment section on Instagram or YouTube. I thought Chelsea would have given Mauricio Pochettino a 5-year contract. Is it that they've learned from their lessons? They are the mistakes that they made. Are they admitting that we made a mistake by giving all these people long contract? Or they don't trust Mauricio Pochettino that much, but he's the only one that is available. The ones that they hope they were supposed to get, the Zidanes of this world, the Luis Enrique's of this world, they couldn't get them. And they say, okay, let's get Pochettino, but we can't trust him with a 5-year contract. Let's just give him 3 years, just in case one season is not doing well. We know that there's only 2 more seasons remaining that we'll pay for, and it will be easy to negotiate. Brighton manager Robert Lewandowski is expecting Ecuadorian midfielder Moises Caicedo, 21, and Argentine midfielder Alex McAllister, 24, to leave the club this summer. Okay, so that's a very positive one. I mean, last summer or last winter window, they were like, they are not leaving. But for now, when a coach comes out to say this, it means that there are some things they know that we don't know, and there's some conversation that they've had inside the club that we don't know. So this is according to the Daily Metro in the UK. So let's take this by the fact that the person that is quoted to say this is an authority. So let's take it serious and see where it goes. Now, the scramble to sign him is another thing. Again, it could be that Brighton are looking for money, and the best way to do it is to sign everybody out early enough and say, look, this guy is for sale. If you want to buy, come and buy. All right? Come and buy now, but you have to come with your money. The way West Ham have said, yeah, we would sell Declan Rice for only a team that plays in the UEFA Champions League. Then again, you have to meet between 100 million to 120 million. So everybody's going to be looking at that. But the fact that nobody's talking about people like Madison, nobody's talking about people like Yuri Tillemans is really worrying me. You know why? They're going to go on relegation. Okay, let me not be too sure. They might survive last year anyway. All right, let's come back. Dutch striker Wat Wogels, who was brought into Manchester United to rescue them, will hold talk with Burnley manager Vincent Kompany once his loan spell ends at Manchester United. So there's a possibility that he might still go, still have a time to play at the Premier League. But the Turkish club Fenerbahce are saying that they want him. Let's talk about Crystal Palace now and their interest. Crystal Palace are interested in signing Lyon's French striker Moussa Dembele, 26, this summer. This guy's been 26 since forever. I'm not saying anything. Yeah, Manchester United have joined Arsenal in the race to sign RB Leipzig 23-year-old French defender Mohamed Simakan, according to a report in Spain. Well, let's hope that the best team gets the player, and when he comes in, he's not going to go missing like it's setting Mikhailo Modric that was hijacked by Chelsea, and I'm sure they're regretting it right now. Okay? AC Milan remain keen to keep Real Madrid's on loan midfielder, Spanish midfielder Brahim Diaz, 23, at the club for next season. He's been a very good player this season, but I mean, it depends on what Real Madrid wants to do. If their East German midfielder Toni Kroos decides to retire, well, I'm not sure he's going to retire, but if he decides to retire, they have to call their player. He's been doing well. Well, but then they've got Aurelio Tchouameni, they've got a lot of players that can fill in that spot. I'm not sure they would really be missing him that much, but you never can tell, okay? I see my sister there, Laviania Skin Product. Woo! I see you there. Good to see you there. How you doing? Thiago Silva's wife, Bella, has confirmed the 38-year-old Brazilian defender intends to stay at Chelsea next season. Where there's money, you will stay. I mean, there's no national team engagement anymore. There's no going back to the, what's they call it in Spain, the Brasileiro Championnat, okay, in Brazil. It's okay. Life in London is also very good. So it's okay to stay if they give him one more contract. But then Thiago Silva have been one of the best players for Chelsea this season, even irrespective of his age. So you've got to look at Chelsea and say to yourself, if a player like Thiago Silva is player of the season, for instance, if you want to vote player of the season, it's going to be Thiago Silva. Then it tells you how bad the young players have done in the course of this season. I hope that Mauricio Pochettino can come in and rejuvenate the team. I'm not really a fan of Mauricio Pochettino, like, oh, he's going to come in tactically, work magic. I don't think I don't think I am one of that. If it's fine. I'm not saying he's a bad coach or he's a Frank Lampard kind of coach or he's a Graham Potter kind of coach. I just think that Chelsea dressing room, they need Jesus. They need the rod of Moses. They need Elijah, the power of Elijah. They need something. Mauricio Pochettino is the guy, but it's not a. So this is how I look at Mauricio Pochettino. It's not a kick the boot in your face kind of silent, kind of guy. It's not a I will beat the hell out of you, Gattuso or Diego Simeone kind of guy. He's a come now, let us reason together. Let's put our things together. Let's see what we can do. How if you do this one, you do that one, we can get result. I don't think that's what the Chelsea dressing room needs right now. But hey, a man is a product of its environment, and then some environment can also bring out the beast and the animal in you. So I'm looking at this marriage. It's an interesting one. I'm not going to sit here and predict that it's going to fail. Chelsea fans will see it as bad belly, but I know that in the next 5 years, Chelsea fans cannot beat their chest and say they will win the league title. Yeah, they've got money. They've got plenty of money to spend. And Chelsea might just go down as one of those anti-Macheschala club where you spend a lot of money, but there's nothing, absolutely nothing to show for it. That's the way I look at Chelsea. But let's just keep our fingers crossed and see what comes out of this. Paris Saint-Germain has set to make their loan deal for French striker Hugo Ekitike 20 permanent, but Eintracht Frankfurt remain interested in the player. Let's see how that works. Spain midfielder Xavi to 18 has denied links with a move to the Premier League and says Barcelona are the club of his dreams. I knew this was going to happen. I knew some people are going to talk to his mom, his dad, his family, his auntie. The mafia way they run things in Catalonia will make them say, you know what, tell your son, no, inject him with Ebola, make him respect himself. Because this is not the time for, you show a lot of weakness if Xavi leaves. Because this team does look like, okay, they're going to build it around Xavi, Pedri, and, the Frankie de Jong and the rest of them. And then all of a sudden, all that's, destabilizing stories of him leaving to the Premier League. I've been wondering, like, where's this coming from? Because this team seems like they want to build it around him. The days of Ansu Fati is gone. Ansu Fati is just going to be a fringe player, a sidebar to the real dish, a side dish to the real dish, and all that. But hey, thank God that's coming out now. We'll see how the transfer window plays itself out, but I don't want him to leave. Real Madrid want to sign 24-year-old. This is like the best news that I have heard. So when I saw this news yesterday, I was like, oh, this is going to be good for my show to end the transfer gist. Real Madrid wants to sign 24-year-old Napoli and Nigerian striker Victor Osimhen. You see, since I was born and since I started following football in 1986 up until now, some of you were not born then, I've not heard Real Madrid in any conversation with a Nigerian player. Nah. I hear the Christopher Hehe talk, I hear the Monte Adepoju talk, and the Finidi George, the one that was already a done deal, but eventually didn't happen. Okay? But listen, this Osimhen deal, I know that I have sat here behind this microphone and said to you guys, I want him to go to Bayern Munich. And if Osimhen calls me, asks me, I'll tell him go to Bayern Munich. But that is in the absence of Real Madrid. Real Madrid comes calling. See, I can't believe I'm the one that's about to say this thing I'm going to say now because it's already said in my brain and I'm going to push it out. It's not like I'm not unconscious. I'm oblivious of what I'm saying. I would rather be a Real Madrid flop like Michael and I don't even agree that it's a flop. Garrett, what's it called? Woodgate or whatever that guy is. McManaman, whatever you put it. But I would rather go to Real Madrid and wear that white jersey and flop for a couple of seasons and get sold back to any other team than saying I turned down Real Madrid. It's only Totti that can turn down Real Madrid. Though. Real Madrid is not the club you turn down. So Victor Osimhen, I know that you watch my show most of the time because you showed up and tell me, I watch your show. See, listen, this one, I'm talking to you and your entire management team. If the call comes in, please pick up this call. Pick up this call. I would feel good traveling to Spain to come and visit you than Okay, so Bayern will not like this because I have a contract with Bayern. I will also feel good coming to Bayern to come and visit. But Bayern, I know the truth. I know what's in my mind, but I feel good going to Madrid to go and watch Victor Osimhen play and make noise. I would love to also see Omar go to Madrid instead of going to Munich. But hey, if it happens that he doesn't go to Madrid, Munich it's a very beautiful afterthought. I'm just saying that's a good deal. I mean, you've got the people that will supply the balls. There's Rodrigo on the right. There is Vinicius Junior, the best player on the left wing right now. Who I don't think there's anybody on his level right now in world football. Imagine Vinicius Junior playing that place that Grealish, that rotten Grealish is playing. Man City will beat everybody because he will supply Haaland what Haaland needs. Now, having said that, earlier in the season, a lot of Arsenal fans said that Bukayo Saka is the best under-21 player in the world. Arsenal fans, do you still hold that strong sentiment? Do you still hold that belief? Are you still standing by that position or not? Now, as we go into the conversation, let me ask you, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, where would you advise Victor Osimhen to go and why? Yeah, you have to have a reason. Don't just say Bayern or Real Madrid. Why? What are the things that you see him winning that will make you say, okay, you should go to either of those two clubs? Okay, and then there's Chelsea, Man United, maybe Arsenal, and some other teams. Now that Arsenal have not won the league, the good thing is that they will spend money. They will not hold back. That one is for sure. Sister Nylin must say you are hearing him here, stick with him here. Don't mind them. Those people that they want send me go back to Egypt. I say Israelite, go back to Egypt. Keflicino said, I miss listening to you, boss. Listen to me here. This place is the best place. And even if you listen to me here, you can re-listen again and re-listen and re-watch and see me. Okay? It's better than radio. Okay. This one is better. This one, you see me, you know me. You see whether I'm serious or I'm not serious, you know. Sister Lima say he should go to Madrid if they come calling. Okay, you didn't give me a reason, but let's see what the guys on YouTube are saying. Jesus, it's so full of what? Bright, what is with that pinky hand? Are you among the alphabet people? Okay, let me say good greetings, boss. Greetings to you. And then he said City will lose to Chelsea, Brighton, and Brentford. Arsenal will win all their remaining match. I just play. Congratulations, Man City champions elect. We move. Okay, thank God. Then I play the play. Additional must say, see what happened to Ayers game versus Groningen, I guess. I didn't see that one. I don't know what happened. So if you can educate me, I'll be fine. Additional must say, Xavi was pragmatic, and I love him for this. Okay, Ibrahim Abiola, hands up, clapping. I don't know what that emoji means. I'm not really good with emoji unless my daughter is here. Rookie is the one that teaches me what emoji is, and she's around now, but she's in school. Uduni Remilako say, out of the three apprentices we Pep do graduation from, now my Arteta remain. They wait for God's time. But he's 1 year FA Cup now. At least you should make do with that one. It's 1 year something. Let me say, boss, Declan Rice or Moise Caicedo, which do you prefer for Arsenal if we are to sign one? I'll go with Moses Caicedo because Moses Caicedo is kind of like a lot more flexible than Declan Rice. I don't think that Declan Rice is all that. First off, I'm pissed off with the price tag on Declan Rice. 120 million for what? I'm not going to spend that money on Declan Rice. I'm not saying he's not a good player, but he's not all that. He's just like a 10, 5, 15 shades above average. I'm not going to put that kind of money on a Declan Rice if I have Moses Caicedo to do, because Declan Rice does not jing. It's not a jinging kind of player. It's not a player when push comes to shove, is going to stand up. You see, Arsenal have a lot of soft players in that midfield. You want a player who, you see what Moise Caicedo did yesterday. The danger player for Arsenal was Martinelli. Took him out completely. He took him out completely. Like, he knocked him out, and in such a way that, well, you could say that the referee was not fair. The referee didn't catch on that. I should have given him a card. Whatever you think. But you need players like that. And then he did it, not even playing in midfield. He was playing wide. Why? They knew that that's the channel that Arsenal was going to be a problem, and they make sure they cancel that corner and then eliminate him. When their former teammate, Leandro Trossard, came in, they knew how to manage him. He hit the bar. It was a threat in the first half, but they knew how to manage him in the second half. They just destroyed Arsenal. one of the beautiful thing about football, the most tactical thing any coach can do in football is neutralize the opposition play. So football it works two ways. First thing is neutralize your opposition play and then impose your play. Most times, some people don't get to the stage where they need to impose their play because they struggle with trying to neutralizing their opposition for the whole 90 minutes and they don't get it, and then it ends. For the first 45 minutes, Arsenal was in the game trying to pull their passing and they're shooting or crossing. Once they neutralized them in the second half, they came in and it was Brighton all the way. And they've done that very well all through the season. And then again, let's not forget that Emirates is a very easy place for them to travel to. They've won 4 out of the last 5 times they traveled to the Emirates. So it's not like a big deal for them coming to Arsenal to win, but a lot of people will not see it that way. I will go for Moise Caicedo than Declan Rice. I'm not saying Declan Rice is not good, but I'm just saying that if I'm caught between the choice of picking any of those two, I'll go for Caicedo. And then additional for say thank you, Footballers Connect, for making this happen. Oduni Relegation Company and Xavi don't call Obi 1-1 league title. Yeah, at different divisions anyway. Oduni Relegation Arsenal should quietly go for Danny Olmo. I like Danny Olmo too, and I think it's good. It's a good player. He can play very well. I don't know if Arsenal will go for him. Let me say, boss, I know say you know rate Iberichieze, but I know lie. We need them for Super Eagles. So that guy, my classic playmaker, we need more competition in Super Eagles. I'll bet my life that it will come to Super Eagles and it will be a flop. I'll bet everything that I have, my business, my life, that guy will not play for Super Eagles. He would, if he come, he will not do anything. First off, Eberechi have an attitude that is stinky. Let's call it speed is speed. And this is how you people say, oh, gonna draw. He's not giving Emmanuel Dennis a chance. Blah, 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 blah. Where's Emmanuel Dennis today? Where is it today? The thing is, there are a lot of these players that you people keep saying we should invite. My problem with wanting them to come to play for the Super Eagles is they do not have the heart for the Super Eagles. And I've seen many players like that who come in feeling like, oh, you're even stressing them to come play for this team. This is not something that is part of their itinerary. It's not part of their plan. They don't have any plan for this. And then you bring them in, and by the time you bring them into the Super Eagles have its own Ogbajo. Super Eagles have its own problem. We're not going to sit here and just blame the players. The Super Eagles, the entire Nigerian setup, would even make a saint go back. Would even make, the Pope slap a police like Shehu Kuti. Okay? But what I'm saying is, sometimes it's like football is like a relationship. Playing for a national team, playing for a club, you say, okay, you are playing because of the kind of money they're paying you, you would get going, and that's your source of livelihood. But playing for national team is like a relationship. When you force a girl to be in a relationship with a guy that she doesn't want, and she's seeing another person that she likes, this relationship will suffer. And some of the players that have been called to come play for the national team are like that. The Super Eagles is not a priority for them. Super Eagles is not a top priority. It's not I give you my heart, my soul, my life, and everything. It's not. It's I heard that you guys are not doing well, and I've come to help you. Okay? It's like when your mom is sick, and they ask your mom's sister to take care of you, but your mom's sister and your mom are not really in good relationship. You know that some conk and some slap would be dispensed easily. That's the kind of thing that you want. If Eberechi is the one pushing to say, oh, I want to play for the Super Eagles, Eberechi still believes that if he performs very well, they would call him to play for the England national team. Why should anybody want to get him to play for the Nigerian national team? The coaches should find a way to make the national team work. Some time ago, about 3 weeks ago, some guys in the FA called me and asked me what's my opinion, what do I think can be done for the national team. And I said, listen, in life, stick to what works. If you want to eat the best banga soup, you go to the Niger Delta, right? If you want to eat the best of fresh fish, real fresh fish, you go to Niger Delta. But you cannot be looking for Kilishi and you go to Uyo or River State or Bayelsa or Delta. You might see Kilishi there, but that's not like the top of the line one. So the thing about the national team of Nigeria is a black man naturally is competitive in nature. And if there is too much relaxation, like that you will play irrespective of what happens, you might not be highly competitive anymore. You just go there, it's a laissez-faire, the team is a thoroughfare, you just come, you get your share. So I said to the guys in the FA, I said, listen, this is what I think you should do. Whether you will use them or you will not use them, find the funding, find a sponsor that would cater for this. Put a team from the Nigerian League together, and it could be players from even the lower, the NNL, NLO, street players, grassroots players. Put them together as national team players. But don't call them Chan Eagles. That's the mistake you make. Don't call them Chan Eagles. Put them in the national team. And let the coach be honest with them. Tell them that, look, if you give your all, you will play. It doesn't matter who I invite. And then your next invitation, instead of inviting 23 or 30 players, invite 15 of your best foreign-based players. And that will send first off a shocker. It's like earthquake. That first sound that you get, that first vibration that you get, that tells you something is about to happen. The whole house shakes, and you think, oh, that will send a wave to the foreign-based players that if I say something is happening, but they will take it for granted. I forget, they'll lose. And then you go on and use these players. Of the 15 you invite, play only 5. Let 10 sit on the bench. Whatever happens, if you lose, the foreign base don't lose before. It's not a big deal. If you're not qualified, the foreign base they not qualify for back-to-back nations. 3 Nations Cup out of 4, they didn't qualify. It's not a big deal. The foreign base didn't qualify for the World Cup. It's not a big deal, right? But you're going to make this statement, and then those players that play in the Nigerian League would now realize, oh, there's an opportunity here, let's grab it. Because listen, every man will grab an opportunity when you give them that chance. When you start telling your house that your wife is not good, you are opening the window of opportunity for her to become wife, right? To kick out the wife. It's just the way it is. So when you create that window, there's competition. The next time you invite, don't invite even 15, invite only 10. Those that comes would want to kill themselves. First, they'll come early. Not these ones that will have a match that will be played on Friday. Player will come stay in Lagos or stay somewhere else and come to camp a day before match, and then they will see start. You don't want to have the kind of situation. Create, whether it's artificial or real competition on the team, and then use that one to build the team spirit. Because what is happening with the Super Eagles is not necessarily lack of players. It's the lack of enthusiasm, lack of will to say, oh, we can die for this team. People are like, no, forget we can't play. You remember when Arsenal had this team that was not qualifying for the Champions League? They had Ozil and the rest of them. The reason is Arsenal had the first 11 that did not have competition. So Mesut Ozil knows that after the press talk, after the fans grumble, next week he goes to start. There was no competition. There was nothing. That's how Arsenal won 7 years without making the Champions League. Today, as bad as the squad might be, there is competition. Everybody knows that somebody might just come in and take my shirt too. And if they take this shirt, I might not get it again. That's why Arsenal had this run that went from chasing top 4 to become a title contender. So that's my take anyway. I don't know if that's going to happen. But for Eberechi, I don't think Eberechi is the solution. Eberechi will still come to the Super Eagles and be crap as far as I'm concerned. Bora Palumi says, Elebata the Lion, the champion of football analysis. I agree with you, bro. Thank you very much. Divine Tokai say, now since we need that, but now that team looks like a mess, and I don't know how much it can help the team. Plus, our team's issue is beyond what's happening on the pitch. Thank you very much, Divine. You know that. Look here. He said, Odoniyi, we need leather finisher, a proper goal machine. Jesus, don't try, but he's not a striker. That can get Arsenal over the line. Osimhen get Napoli over the line because he's a proper striker. Peter Ewenode, yeah, man, how you doing? Are you adapting to your new environment? He said the only reason why Lukaku is coming back to Chelsea is because there is no one in the market with a tangible offer for him. Else, I would want Chelsea to cut their losses and move on. Michael later says that guy, Alexis McAllister, is a very good player. He's incredible and tireless. World Cup performance brought him more to prominence. I wish United could move for him. United are already looking at him. There's a possibility that he might go to United. Divine Tokai say, boss, what will you advise Indy to do? Especially now, it seems Leicester will be going on relegation. Fortunately, it is going to go down with that team. Okay, additional for my say, I will not like to take Lukaku back. He is a divisive figure in the dressing room. He also is ready to throw the coach under the bus if things are not going its way. Grown baby mentality. Well, he may have learned from his mistake, and there is the likelihood. There is a likelihood. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but there's a likelihood that he may have learned from his mistake and say, okay, I'm going to change and I'm going to do better. That's my opinion. Though I might be wrong. Let me say, because I know that guy can run for 90 minutes and not get tired. Peter, I wanted to say, Todd is learning that football in Europe is different from other sports in America. I don't trust Pochettino, but I believe he is the John the Baptist coming to fix the broken pieces at Chelsea. I like the way you put that. Some people are using relativity to the best level right now. Michael Aleta said, bros, what do you think about this? I think Casemiro is being targeted by referees. I see him collect cards recently that other players get away with. That has really limited his game in the EPL. I think so too. I agree with you on that one. I've said it before. Additional Masitawa, when he has finally arrived in the EPL, double in 2 games, he has brushed off the injury from the early season. He has the grace with him when he plays. He's a real number 9. I like the way he stays in the middle. I like the way he doesn't run too much. He knows. See, I'm not going to keep myself, but if you give me the ball, I'll do the job that I'm here to do. But if you're not willing to give me the ball, well, let's keep our fingers crossed. All of us will lose together. I played with a player like that before. He'll tell me, see, guy, if you cross the ball for me, I'll score. But if you choose to be dribbling, I will stand where I am now. When we're done, we all lose. We lose the bonuses. That's just the way it is. I did allow my. He said Osimhen, Vinicius, and Rodrigo will be world beaters. Okay, Madrid, seeing Barca knows they have to resolve the front line. Benzema can't give you the consistent performance like before due to injury. And then Nigella went on to say they need to make the move now because they can't afford to lose out on the hottest striker. They missed Alan because they put all their eggs on Mbappe. Yeah, they can't be snubbed a second time. It was Mbappe's lot. Lord Mayor, I said, see me, I beg, go to Madrid. Go to Madrid. Madrid is the best club in the world. And moreover, if you perform well, Ballon d'Or is not far. If you are a Madrid player, then that will be the day. That will be the day. See me winning the Ballon d'Or, that will be the day. I'll be clad 200. Then Rebecca say like Hazard. Yeah, like Hazard. Hazard have won Champions League. No, not like Hazard. No, like Hazard. That one is not good. Additional woman, he said rice is too expensive for that money. It's too expensive. That money can buy 2 quality players. No, that money cannot buy 2 quality players. You can buy 1 and then 1 backup. They should not waste that money. Abort mission. Okay. Wallace Villa, I say, are we not live on YouTube today? Where are you looking at? Because we're live on YouTube, and that's where I'm reading all these messages from. So I don't know what you're saying. Timothy Daimbo says Bayern has always seen strikers thrive. Luka, Tony, Mario Gomez, Mandzukic, Lewandowski, Sandro Wagner, Choupo-Moting. I prefer Victor there, but like you said, you can't turn down Real Madrid. Yeah, that's the thing. You can't turn down Real Madrid. Okay. Additional information say we all know the case with Hazard. Laughing at that. A lazy player in the early stage in their career, no matter how good, will pay the price with injuries later. The muscles will give in. Yes, Ikegwa Albert says a greeting, boss. Owen Agravis comment to Paul Onuachu. I don't understand. Owen Hagrid's comment to Paul Onuachu, I agree with it, but it didn't go well to many Nigerians to whom much is given, much is expected. After 11 matches, no goal, should under-17 coach be sacked? You see, this thing about the under-17 coach here, I'm one of those who thought like they should give Unukabade a chance. He's always been angling for the chance. He's worked behind the scene for people. And most time it's claimed that he's the one that did the work. And so I'm always of the opinion that when people say they are the ones that did this, that did that, give them a chance, because if you never do, they will always be like that. They gave them a chance. The under-17 team didn't do well. They didn't play well at all. They didn't rob themselves in glory. But Unukabade is a young coach. sack him now, where does he go? We don't have a league that can really absorb these coaches and give them a chance to perform, unfortunately. We also don't have young coaches. We've not trained coaches for a very long time. The two young coaches that we have now, one is in Dubai. That's Coach Ayere. I still think that he still needs some time to groom himself and grow. You can't throw him into the national team now, because when you want to coach the national team, you have to master both coaching and politics. Coach Ayere is not that guy. Another person who, for me, I consider the best young coach in Nigeria right now, Coach Olumide, who is the coach of Beyond Limit. Kolo Shiname would rather die than see anybody taking from him. I still don't think that we have anybody who would take the young national team. And I also think that as a country, we don't have a program that really make it easy for coaches to thrive. I'm not making excuses for Ulukabade, but I think that he can be given one more shot. If you can give Lanamboso multiple shots, he can be given one more shot to see what he can do. But the size, the heat, the failure is like an atomic bomb. It's hard to make case for him. So if they sack him, I'm not going to be here arguing against it. That's just the basic truth about that. Peter, I wanted to say Casado is a very flexible player in the mood of Michael Essien, and I will take him all day. The Xavi was very tactical by putting Moises on the Martinelli and Lewis Cowell to mark at Odegaard. Man, that man marking on Odegaard was the best, like the best I've seen after Rudiger on Haaland. Anyway, let's go further down. There are two more messages on YouTube. Odino Meleka say, bros, they confuse me. The last time I asked that question, I picked rice. Today, you pick Casado. You not ask the question with Casado now. We're looking at Casado and rice, and then now there's a price. I was thinking that Casado is still over 100 million, and rice was going to be like 60 because it's got 2 years remaining. It was going to go down to 60. Last time they say it's 100 million. Well, now they're saying 120 million. Nobody's going to buy him. So you have to consider that. Okay, I'm not saying nobody, but Arsenal buying him for 120 million. Last time we spent 72 million on the player. We got a dead rat. Arsenal should not go and make that kind of mistake. Lord Mayor, I say, I pray Umar Sadiq have a good season next season after his Achilles injuries. Hard to come back from Achilles injuries, but if there's a player with a mentality to come back, he's a player. I've sat down with him, I've had a conversation with him. I think he's got a good head. He's got a mentality that works. I'm just hoping that he comes out and have a good season and everybody's happy. Daniel Abana, Mercedes under 17 boys were so young, and all these players should be put together. It's going to be hard to put them together. I've heard a lot of people say they should put them together. The question is how. These guys come from different states. They have different parents. They have different things. You can't put them together just like that. The next under 17 is in 2 years' time. What is going on with the under 23 news? There's nothing going on. Under 23 they qualify for the Olympics. Okay, we hear that their opposition fielded one player that there will not been any ruling. So I don't know what that is, but on the field we lost that, and I hate to get boardroom points or boardroom opportunity. But then if that's the way for us to qualify, let's see how it goes. But I still think that we have a team that doesn't look good. We might still get to the next round and still fail. Well, having said that, we've come to the end of the show today. Thank you very much, guys, for being on the show with me. My name once again is Idafi Manchester. You love to come in the Lagos to us. Let's do this together with Emmanuel Sebastian tomorrow. Anthony Adi, he said, if Ubade is sacked, do we have a ready-made fresh replacement? End up recycling again. Daniel Abane say no night show anymore. Yeah, the numbers did not support. Like I said before, the night show was supposed to be because a lot of people in the diaspora says that the morning show does not suit their time. But then I can't go the whole night yet. You have to come meet me halfway. I can't do a show and then at this stage, and then there are only 5 people, 3 people on the course of the show, and then all 5 are not even commenting. It doesn't need any. It tells you that the people don't need the show. So I just have to go. So that's just the way it is. If the people who want to do night show are ready, they should ask for it. Having said that, before I go today, let me say this as I close. You guys always tell us that we should put out the best of the Nigerian league, Nigerian football out there. When clubs like Vendreza, clubs like Sporting Lagos are doing live stream, and I'm seeing that first of their subscriber is less than 500, and I'm seeing that there are only 6 or 7 people viewing it. It's sad, because if we really want this industry to grow, we also have to change our attitude towards the industry. If Burna Boy is doing something, you will see 10,000 of people viewing it. if these days I go on TikTok a lot. I just do a lot of TikTok viewing because I don't understand TikTok. I'm trying to understand it. The one that people would be there and be shouting, be grabbing. I don't understand that. And I would look for one young Gen Z person to come and teach me what that means anyway, because I don't think I would ever be on live and be shouting, be grabbing. But I see 10,000 people, 5,000 people, 2,000 people watching one girl open a breast half or shaking hands that does not make sense. And then when it comes to this, people streaming live matches and you guys are not watching. And then that's when you hear people say, we don't have data. The data one until they look here and so, and agbalumon size or watermelon size of breast. Now when they say that, they tell they watch football live stream. The problem where we get to, I'm not sure say if they bring TB Joshua come back, he go face over more. But anyway, let's rest the matter today, and I hope that as we go forward, the people who claim to love football will really show that love that they have for football. My name again is Daffy Matthews. Second, you love to come in the Legota Sport. It's been the Sports Buffet on the Legota TV Radio. Bye and have a wonderful day.